Okay. This is supposed to shoot this in one take, but probably my fourth take now. So the last few, last 24 years of my life I spent in like a very anxiety-ridden, depressive, disassociative stage, right? And I had learned at one point to kind of live with it and just keep pushing forward. And like I just like buried myself in like the materialism of the world, buried myself in like wanting new things, buying shit, and whatnot. So the whole time, like January, I was working in the city. I'd been in the city for about a year and a half, and like I started my master's program, and I felt like I was on a track of like an upward spiral. But the whole time, like I'm thinking like, oh, I'm not making enough money. I need to make more money. If I make more money, I'll be happier. Classic phase a lot of people face. So I'm like, all right, like let's try to look for a new job, and I start the process, and like I'm getting pretty depressed. I wasn't initially getting that many hits, but I'm like, I'll keep pushing. And then throughout this whole process, I'm telling myself like, oh, okay, like also like if I change my location and like maybe if I move away from my distractions, I'll be able to like lock in, change my life for the better. And like maybe I need a change of scenery from Jersey because I've been living here for my entire life. Never lived anywhere else. So I'm like, all right, like let's do that. So I'm applying to jobs everywhere, all over the country. I mean, I was applying all over the world, Singapore, Australia, wherever I could get a new opportunity, I was applying. And September rolled around. I got a new opportunity. It was in Miami. I'm like, all right, this is an inflection point. I signed a lease with my friend. I'm like, all right, like life's gonna be great. Like I'm just gonna move down there. Ball will get rolling. Like life will get better. I get down there, like, and even a few weeks prior, I'd gone down to check out the apartment. I'm like, my anxiety's like spiking. I'm like, okay, maybe it's like it's a new thing, new move, new change. Probably from that. I moved down there, anxiety spiking even more. Getting like heavy stages of deja vu. I'm feeling like, dude, like what the hell is going on? Like I thought this was gonna be a turning point in my life. But I'm like, all right, maybe I'm just homesick, missing my friends, missing my family. Maybe it's just that. So I'm like, I'll keep pushing. I come back home. It's like not bad. Like I'm like, okay, like maybe I just gotta come home a little bit more often. And I go back in December to Miami. My friends are visiting me. All in all, it should have been a happy weekend. And first day was I pick up my friends. I'm excited. Like we're gonna spend the weekend together. We're gonna get lit. Job's going great. Everything's going great. And I don't know. I had like one of the worst anxiety attacks of my life. I had gotten to a point where like I'm like depersonalized, derealized. I'm like not sure what's reality, what's not. I'm living in my head. I'm like convinced it's like a simulation. The deja vu that I experienced is like I'm convincing myself like, oh, I'm in like a time loop and like my life I've been living it over and over again and like there's no death and like all kinds of like crazy things. Like I'm like, shit, dude, like I lost my marbles. Like I'm like, fuck, like this is it. Just the end of my life. Like at 24 fucking years old, like I lost my like sense of being. Like I'm fucking screwed. But I call my parents, they're worried about me. My friends are kind of worried about me, and just like, all right, like what can I do? I gotta keep pushing. So like I talked to my manager. I'm like, dude, like I think I might need to go home and like kind of recover. I go home and it's helping. Like, I feel like a more sense of familiarity. It's like I'm grounding myself, and I can feel like I'm distracting myself with snowboarding, distracting myself with like hanging out with my friends, watching movies. I'm thinking like, okay, I'm on a track of getting better. And I started taking like ashwagandha, and I'm on like one anxiety medication that I was supposed to only take if I was like feeling intense states. And I'm getting scared to go back because I'm like, dude, like, what happens if I can't ground myself in Miami? Like, I'm gonna like feel like all sorts of fucked up. But eventually, I'm like, I have to go back. I signed a lease there, everything. I go back. I'm like taking ashwagandha every day, and I start taking the medication when I go to. First few days, I don't take it when I'm in Miami, but then I start taking it because I start feeling more anxious about living there. So I start taking it, and then like the medication basically like when you take it, it dulls all your feelings, but then it spikes it as well once you stop. So I start like leaning in on it. It's like dulling everything out. It's like dulling all my like feelings, my emotions. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I'll deal with it when I go back home. Eventually it gets bad. I'm like, all right, I just gotta go back home right now. Put myself on a flight that weekend, and I go back home, and I'm like literally feeling like I'm losing my emotions, losing my sense of being. And this whole time, like, I was getting into spirituality and like in Hinduism, like the idea of the world being an illusion. They call it Maya. They say like the world is Maya because they say like you're a part of the source creation, and like the world is like a dream reality. So I'm like believing this idea. But I think in a normal state of being, the idea isn't going to be that detrimental because it's supposed to help you realize, like, okay, you don't need to be anxious about everything in the world because it's not really what it is. But me being in my state of, like, psychosis and this, like, going through this ego death phase, I'd convince myself, like, oh, the world is, like, not worth living for, and I'm like kind of just like in the state of like, okay, if everything is rooted in impermanence, what is the point of me doing anything? And for the first time, I'd come to a stage of acceptance of like everything, all the good, all the bad I did, and I'd gotten to like an extreme state of like almost ego death like symptoms. I'm like renouncing everything, renouncing like my family ties. Like, I'm like thinking this is the only way out, is if I renounce everything, accept my feelings. That's the only way I'm gonna get out. So I do. I start renouncing everything, start accepting everything fully. And like I had like one crazy experience of like severe anhedonia from the ashwagandha. So I hop off the ashwagandha. I'm like, now I'm like, okay, like I don't feel any emotions. The world's so fucking silent. I'm like, all right, like let's just keep going. All I can do is keep going. I'm like not even suicidal. I'm not even depressed. All I know is like I just have to keep going. So I'm just pushing day by day by day, just hoping my emotions come back. And like that, like the last 2 months have gone by, and like now like I can laugh in front of my friends, like they say joke, like, you know, like the emotions are there, but they're so dulled, like and on top of it all, like because I had like convinced myself that everything is rooted in impermanence, I'd lost my drive. I went through a stage where I like tore down all my old beliefs, and I had gotten to a point where like I didn't have a belief system anymore. I didn't have a framework of how to organize and create a life. So last 2 months I've been coasting. I have like no sense of like direction. My goals, I don't feel as tied to my goals. I don't feel as tied to my ambition. And I, for some reason, thought the psychosis was going to be the hardest part of it all. But for some reason, like, the state I'm in of this, like, limbo, this seems to be the hardest part, man. Because it's like, I'm not necessarily doing anything. I'm just like a leaf floating in the wind. But I don't even have the desire to do my duty. I had lost, like, I feel so lost in the sense of, like, whatever I need to do, I'm struggling to do. Like, I don't really care about school anymore. Like, I'm just, like, doing the bare fucking minimum. But that's never how I really live my life. Like, even though I was, like, doing bare minimum in some aspects before, it was, like, I still had to drive to do more. Like, I'd push myself. Like, I have a marathon coming up. I probably trained, like, fucking, like, 20%, man. Like, man, 20% is being generous. I ran, like, a 15-miler. I ran a few miles here and there over the course of the last 2 months. But, like, that's not marathon training. Even for school, like, I study a little bit here and there, like, and I'm getting through. But, like, that's not how I want to set up in, like, my life. I don't care about, like... I mean, like, I don't, like, necessarily care too much about, like, you know, having flashy cars, having a flashy apartment now, like, having, like, you know, like, millions of dollars to go blow on designer clothes and shit like that. Stuff that I used to more so care about in the past. But I kind of want to get my, like, drive to do more. For just the sake of doing more, right? Like, our life is a journey. Right? It's the journey. We don't want to reach the end of the line. End of the line is death. We don't want to reach that ASAP. So we need to cherish the journey. And I'm kind of struggling. I'm having fun and, like, stuff like that. But I want to be able to, like, do more for the sake of doing more. And I'm, like, really struggling with that concept. It's like I can't seem to push myself to do more. It's like I'm okay with just being. Which I guess for some people, like, in the spiritual path, like, maybe it's alright, but, like, I want to just do more to do more, dude. Like, what else is there to life? I feel like, unless I super get into spirituality, it's like, I just want to do more. Like, I want to, like, not even create, like, I want to just do more and create a life and provide for, let's say, a future family. And I don't want to get stuck in this limbo, dude, and I don't know what the hell I need to do. And I feel so lost. I go on social media occasionally, and I'm just, like, seeing, like, people get, like, Lambos and this and that, and, like, when I'm in Miami, like, I see dudes that are, like, younger than me driving these, like, sports cars and shit, and, like, doing more with their life, and I'm sitting here at the fucking sweet age of 25, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on with me? I'm like, dude, like, what am I doing? Like, it's like I'm not in a state of depression. I'm not in a state of, like, agony. But I think that's what hurts the most. And I think there's, like, a quote somewhere, but it's like, sometimes it's better to be more depressed, because then you have the fuel to change your life. Whereas if everything is just in the middle, you're less inclined to change your life. So maybe the solution to it is, like, be more depressed, but I don't even have the energy to do that. Like, I'm just, like, in the middle. So I'm, like, feeling like, dude, this is harder than, like, the whole ego death, the whole psychosis. Because, like, at least there, it's like, okay, something's actually wrong. Now it's like nothing's actually fucking wrong. And I still feel like something's missing. I don't know what I'm trying to, like, I'm understanding, like, adding more items, adding more things, like, that's not necessarily happiness. So I've come to terms with that, but it's like, what the fuck am I actually doing? Like, how do I rebuild my inner belief system to be more aligned with, you know, the creator energy, be more aligned with, like, with giving all my glory to God, with doing everything simply because God put me on this earth, right? Doing my duty, doing my dharma. Like, how do I rebuild my inner system? So that's like something I've been like really struggling with in the last few months, and like, I don't know, I like never really expected to like go through a phase like this. And I mean, the reason I'm like even making this video in the first place is just like, I'm hoping that like by talking to myself in front of the camera, it inspires some change. And I felt really compelled to make this video for God knows what reason. And I'm hoping that like it helps me and maybe like one other person like that might be going through something similar, like get a perspective and like change their life in a sense. If that, yeah, if this helps them do that, like, I'd be all the more grateful. But it's been a long road, and I know it's gonna be a longer road, but at this point what I keep telling myself is like, I just gotta take it day by day, and like, and I just have to do it regardless of how I feel, irrespective of how I'm feeling in the head. Like, I just need to do it, and I need to do more things regardless of like whether I have a motivation or drive to do so. Because I'm starting to realize that like sometimes in life you might not have the drive, but you can't rely on that purely. You gotta just keep going. Like they say, horses don't stop, they keep going. Like, you just gotta keep going, because life ain't gonna slow down for you, and you just gotta keep pushing with it. And I guess I just can't be stuck in this limbo. I just gotta do more. I gotta keep pushing at the gym. I gotta keep trying to run. I gotta just keep going. And even if I don't care about my actions, I have to just keep acting, because that's all I can do at the end of the day. So I hope this helps whatever soul comes across this video. But I guess for me, it's just like documenting like my ground zero, right? This is like my rock bottom in a sense. And let's see what direction I take my life in after this. So stay tuned. I don't know if I'm gonna be consistently posting videos, but probably just be like monologuing whenever I can. But follow the journey, and we'll see where this shit goes.